Shit. Hello. Hello. It's a beautiful day to blaze some good. A beautiful day to blaze some good. Would you be kind? Please light mine. So I've come to the realization that all my podcasts prior to now are pretty much unwatchable because of the fucking echo. So I can't figure out how to run the music so that y'all could hear without the echo. And now I finally figured out how to get both ears going. So I don't know. This is wild. But at least I can speak to y'all, whoever y'all is. Anyway, it's just supposed to be Fridays, but this whole week has been messed up on schedule. So excuse me, that's on a Saturday morning, but somebody's waking up somewhere. So if you're waking up, and roll up. Got some great stuff to talk about. Still smoking a little bit of homie weed. Got my cup of Nescafe. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just get right to my thoughts. Of course, today I'm not wearing any bizarre merch, but I do got my little t-shirt in the background, so still representing. Anyway, at least on my last unlistenable podcast, it was talking about what was going down in New Orleans with the attack. And, I didn't really want to go too much into the conspiracy theory or the conspiratorial theories I was having in my mind based off of the facts that they presented. I didn't really want to go too much into it, but fuck it, they've already come out with other, channels already talking about it. And the coincidences are just, there's no such thing as coincidence, as far as my estimation. Because then you had the other attack, or I don't know if you can call it an attack, but the guy blew up a Cybertruck. I mean, look at the symbolism there. It's crazy, right? Cybertruck of all things blowing up. But the thing about it is both of these people come from fucking the same army base, and they're doing it on the same day. Like, so sure, the first guy, he was, he was Arab sort of like culturally, but he was born here. And they would say he wasn't even Arab culturally. He was American. So heritage, had, that's not even Arab because it's a broad term. So it could have been, I'm not sure exactly one of those countries. It could have been, Afghanistan, Iraq, where one of those Middle Eastern countries. So he was, his family's based from there, but he was born here in America. Shit. You mean to tell me he was going to be a member of ISIS willingly? Your word? I have a hard time with that. I have a hard time thinking, with all of the excesses that are afforded to people in this country, that they're going to willingly become a member of ISIS. Like, first off, there's the whole aspect of betraying your own country. For all the bad things, and there are a lot of bad things that you could talk about. I just can't imagine myself like betraying my own country. I wouldn't want to betray anybody, really. And an idea of betraying is like there's something to gain, and you have to do something bad to somebody to gain that. I'm just not into that. But just a thought, you went to you born and raised this country. You even went to the military. You even went overseas. And then all of a sudden, I'm a hit for the other team. Fuck out of here. All the cool shit that's available to you that you're just gonna give up. I mean, it's too much pussy, Starbucks, and football. Straight up. Straight up. I mean, first off, becoming a member of ISIS is pussy out the door. So that's going to be a hard thing to push somebody away from. Then all of the amenities, all of the, you could go to the store, buy like all kinds of goods. You can go, to the bar at night. You go to restaurants. You can hang out with all different types of people. I mean, you could smoke herbs. And in many cities in this country, you could do it legally. You could do none of that. You could pray how you want to pray. You could still be religious, and you could be heavy into religion as you want. And ideally, I mean, based off his actions that he's prescribed to have done, that's where it becomes a little bit tighter with the religion. But even then, ideally, you still should be able to practice whatever religion you want, be as rigid as you want, just as long as, at least it's my estimation, as far as keep it to yourself. I'm good with that. And he's gonna give that up and then say, "No, I'm just gonna go just fuck a bunch of people up." I have a hard time with that. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's why it's called conspiracy theories. And of course, I'm just some dude on the YouTube, so I don't owe anybody responsibility of telling accurate information. I can sort of pontificate. That's the fun part about this stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, first son was like he was gonna like, yo, I'm gonna fuck my family up, and then my friends. Yo, if I like this family was like, whew, as fucked up as that sounds, it's like, damn, better him than me. This is like we was family. He would come fuck us up, yo, son. What? For real? He's like, yo, come on. He decided not to go after his own peoples, and decided to go to. I have a hard time with that one. I'm sorry. I mean, and then the other dude, he just blows up a truck, a Cybertruck of all things. That one's just totally weird. I mean, yo, the shooting in Queens at a club. I mean, there's got to be some sort of symbolism behind that. There's definitely some kind of coordination for sure. I mean, what else can it be? I don't believe in coincidences. It's like, yo, he just plowed into a bunch of people, got out and started bucking. Yo, this is some shit out of a fucking movie. I know I'm fried, bro, but I'm not just fried from smoking it. It's just sort of fried from all the bullshit. I guess that's the point. Because fuck, man. son just got out like on some like type shit and just started bucking. I mean, do we have video of that? And like, I'm like, want to see a bunch of people die, but you just kind of always wonder what it looks like in real life. Like when those two, it was like these two. I think they were like, I think it was Ukrainian dudes back in Cali, like years back. They got all armored up and robbed the bank, and took it to the popos, and I guess they had like a sharpshooter shoot one in the foot. Eventually there was, the popos are gonna have more firepower than a couple individuals, but the way these guys were all armored, they took it to them. So we see this in real life. So I'm kind of wondering, do we really have video of what happened in New Orleans? But the thought that, so what, now it's on. It's on. And what I mean by it's on, it's like, what city's next? They have to put that in their mind. Is to keep us in fear. I fear a few things in this world, but we're going to eat it. Almost did it a few years ago, so it's wild. I mean, so that's the whole point of things, is why you got to basically have your own ecosystem, your own economy, your own little world, your own little bubble, basically, and sort of promote the positivity within that bubble, to sort of protect from all the garbage. Because son, I mean, I know this stuff is going on in the world. All kinds of stuff is going on in the world, but this is recent and this is a little bit closer, and that's it. I mean, it all hits home hard when you really sit down and think about it, but it's just as recent, and just the whole idea. This is some shit straight out of a movie. Like, yo, son. I wish, as people that have lived in this world a little bit longer than, the younger generations, I wish we could have left them with a better world. But apathy is the worst sin, I believe. I mean, they're all bad sins. Greed, gluttony, sloth. But apathy, it's not one that people talk about, but people have just sort of lied down and just said, fuck it. Do what you want with me. It's like when you talk a chick into smashing, and she don't really want to. She don't really like you. I don't even think, a lot of times, it's like, I don't even think they don't have nothing to gain from it other than the fact that you pressure them into it. And they just say, hey, just do what you want with me. They don't even really like it. Don't even really like you. I can honestly say that's one scenario that I've only seen act out. I've never actually been at that. It's either chicks really like me, or any chicks I've ever been with, they either really liked me or they really hated me. So there was no middle ground in that respect. If we were smashing, I knew because they really, really liked me. But there was none that had to sort of think about it and find out. I get that extreme emotion right away, but there have been instances you could get the meaning. Maybe that's not the best analogy, but then again, I just don't think it's apt, because it's a violation on both sides. So I don't know. This is wild. This is wild. This is wild. I'm over here talking like Dr. Seuss book. But forget about it. Let's do a little bit of let's play a little bit of music for a second.
You must all know how to govern situations. Who are you using this work? Who are more troubled in their work? Just put him there and say, sir or madam. Now will you be kind enough to justify me? You can't justify me. If you're not pulling your weight, well, if you're not producing as much as you consume, but that's more, then clearly you cannot use the big organization of our society for the purpose of keeping you alive, because your life does not benefit us, and it can't be very much use to yourself.
Ezekiel 25:17. The path.
That shit still got me bopping my head. Shit. I mean, so back to what I was talking about before. I mean, all this stuff that's going on now, if you think about it, going back to the conspiracy, I mean, this is all stuff that they talked about happening. So it's like, was it foretold in somebody saw the future? Or was it like, yo, this is what's going to happen and we're going to, for lack of a better phrase, we're going to herd people into these realities? Because, I mean, I'll be 48 in like 2 weeks, yo, but like, I swear the 80s was completely different. Yo, so part of me kind of thinks I was this age in the 80s. I'd have been killing it. I'd have been killing it. But then, I'm stuck in the time. Well, I don't want to say stuck, but I definitely in the time I'm in. And it's crazy because I've gone from basically analog to digital. in life. Because I remember the rotary phone. I fucking used the rotary phone. You know what I'm saying? I remember the first touch phones. I remember the first like companies and the commercials. I remember the first cell phones. Shit. I remember Nintendo. I got a PS4 right there. You know, and working on getting a PS5, but I remember the first Nintendo. I remember going to the corner store and then they had like the games you put the quarters in. I remember arcades. I remember the first computers. And it was kind of like, it was cool because it was like, on one hand, you had this box with, and you press these buttons, but then it was so limited in what it could do. Or I just didn't have the foresight. You know, there were a lot of engineers and things like that had the foresight and the vision to know what to do with this stuff. But DOS was just like blah. And just to see what it's become. This little box right there, little square tablet thing. This thing I opened up, a little laptop. Got so much going, like I could do so much with it. It's mad wild. And I seen the evolution of all of that. So I guess I was in the right time because, I mean, I seriously, it's weird now that I think about it. I've gone from analog to digital. I remember my first music recorder was a tape. It was a Fostex. It's like a deck. Now I'm recording music using like FL Studio and I got like machines and keyboards and computers and shit. But you used to have to work to make the first make songs. Playing guitar was the same thing. You know, you had to work for you. But the early guys that used to make like the old new wave like synth shit, the old 80s music, they had to build their synthesizers that they would use. So, I mean, there's so much different things, so many more advantages as we're going along. But it's like they use those advantages that you got from technology to sort of, it's sort of like to kill human production and function and limit what we can do and how we think and what we feel. Yo, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's mad wild how people's gone from sort of a revolutionary mindset, you know, a mindset of, you know, let's hit the pavement and just build and you know, fight and be happy and be men and be women and be, you know, just proud of what we are. Now it's like, nobody wants to be anything but a bitch. Yeah, it was like so many dudes just like, yo, I get to be a bitch now? I'm there, yo. It's like, yo, straight up, I ain't gotta work. I ain't gotta scrape and scrounge. It's like deep down inside, motherfuckers let that inner bitch out. And of course, you know, the shorties, they always competing with men on like, for some stupid reason. So they want to be sort of men and masculine. It's like, I get to get a dick too now? I don't know. That's just wild. Man, I swear, for people that were born in the 90s, born in the 2000s, the 80s was wild. And just like, I mean, of course you can't ever go back, but it's just to reflect, you know, on the advantages in life So it's like you had advantages in life, but it was a lot more inconvenient. So you traded convenience. So you have more convenience and less of a sort of human factor in life. Mad wild. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. The day is long, the sun is hot. You might as well smoke if you got some pot.
And now to Afghanistan, where tonight a attempt in southern were wounded.